Welcome everyone to our live stream here on lichess and Twitch. I am the Sleepy Master. Good weather here, no excuses. I don't know. I just feel like I can't wake up. It's 11:02. We're going to be taking Blitz challenges, 5+3 casual. The lower rated, the better. We should make it like an under 1600 stream or something. I just don't think I can handle master strength players today. But I wanted to check something. Weather forecast. Check the weather forecast for the next couple of days. Yeah, I feel like I have brain fog this morning. It's getting to the point where I have 2 beers the night before and I feel like I have a hangover. That's not good. All right. 2 beers never hurt anybody. I must be really getting old. Cooking rooks. So forecast for today. Budapest, Hungary, 78 degrees Fahrenheit, high temperature. 0 chance of rain, 37% humidity. It's like ideal. All right. Why is Esmond awake? He's always awake. I don't think he sleeps. It's only 2 a.m. He's in Vegas. Cooking Rooks, you're in Austin, right? So you're Central Time? Is anybody in Mountain Time? Does that time zone exist? I guess just in Colorado. So parts of Texas are in Mountain Time? Or how does it work? Okay, your country. I have brain fog. I apologize, guys. I don't know what's wrong with me today. The only place I know that's in like Mountain Time, I guess, is like Colorado, right? Like Denver. I never think of anyone in Mountain Time. But I imagine Texas has like 3 time zones. Seriously, does it have 2 or 3 time zones? Just 2. Yeah. It wouldn't have Pacific. Anyway. I am Astrobate is Pacific. I don't know. You're pretty close to California there. Learning chess. We got a challenge from them. The mysterious learning chess. All right, everybody. Thank you for the great support yesterday. We had a hype train. So only El Paso is in Mountain Time. I've got to learn my Texas geography better. But you're not. We've discussed this already. Cooking Rook's not originally from Texas. All right, most people aren't. The smart chess player. So I've got tons of challenges. Sada Masagana. So who's a subscriber? It doesn't matter. All right, we're just taking challenges. It just doesn't matter. I am. Please don't hurt me, okay? Because I'm a little bit slow. I'm playing blindfold. I'm pre-moving. I accidentally pre-moved. I've been commentating too much during my 5+3 games. You know, originally when I started streaming, I was doing like 15-0 games. And then I migrated to doing, you know, slightly faster games. Like 7 plus whatever, 7 plus 5, 7 plus 3, something like that. And then we started migrating even further to this 5+3 time control. But the problem is, I really don't have the kind of time to commentate these games as if it was like a 7-minute game, and I forget, you know, and sometimes I start like getting myself in really, you know, bad time situations trying to describe the game and be instructive. In 5+3, I really need to focus on just playing. White's opening is rather strange here. Let's try something original. Look, I decided to strong point this e5 pawn with the pawn. Pawn protects pawn on the open file. White's setup is rather unusual. Generally speaking, you don't play... Wow, look at that. You don't play d3 and then exchange your strong point off on d5. Unbelievable move here. What? Learning chess? Learning chess, you're not aggressive enough. I think that's the problem. You need to be a little bit more aggressive. Now, because the window's open, I'm trying to get some oxygenated. I'm trying to be oxygenated. You're going to hear some wonderful ambulance music today. Another like psychotically aggressive move. We don't know who learning chess is, but I have noticed this theme where they're like too aggressive. Now what do I do? Knight d4. Controlled, not a controlled style by White. He just, cooking rooks, you need to get some rest. You're going to be sending me an email. I can't watch the stream anymore. It's disrupting my sleep. Damn. No, I don't want to hear that you lost your job because you watched my stream too much. I'm just trying to wake up. I had some coffee and I feel groggy nonetheless. Thanks for tuning in, Scared Knight. Knight takes d1 check, whatever. c2. I can't even say the names of the squares right. I had the weirdest feeling like learning chess could play normally, but they're kind of experimenting with craziness a little too much. Man, thank you, Cooking Rooks, for the coffee. After the stream, I'll go down and get some real coffee somewhere. Appreciate it. 1,000 bits from Cooking Rooks. We'll see you on Sunday. Hopefully you can play. Thank you, man. Very generous coffee donation. He's relentlessly psycho. It's almost like trying to play the Incredible Hulk. Busting out with his greenness. He's getting slowly smushed down into the swamp of the first three ranks. I watched Hulk. I remember when I was a kid, you know, the original Hulk series was on. Did watch it occasionally. David Banner. You won't like me when I'm angry. It's classic. This is really not necessary. Alright, if I play queen a5 at some point, white plays a4, and there's no immediate mate. So that's why I didn't do that. This is a totally winning position for black. But it's hard to believe learning chess is 1766. Playing so crazy. It's like he's extra crazy or something. Now with extra craziness. I mean, 1766 is a pretty serious rating. That's 100 points higher than Asterbate. I mean, you got to be pretty decent at chess to get to 1766. But it feels like learning chess is almost like trying to be wildly insane in this game on purpose or something. We got it, finally. Man, Asterbate, it makes you look like Capablanca, the way he plays. He's so wildly aggressive and reckless, but obviously has some understanding of the game to get to 1766. That's not a bad rating. Yeah, I mean, you went really way too aggressive. Though I think that's typical. You know, most of the people I play, you got to look at people on a scale of how recklessly aggressive they play or how conservative they play. Both are bad, you know. And like more people are too aggressive than too passive. All right. Let me just check. You cannot challenge me unless you have 100 rated games. That's the only rule. All right, he's got 100 rated games. Our only rule. Please be polite. Don't play the London system and have 100 games. Welcome everybody to the stream. I would tone it down a little bit, learning chess. You seem like you're a bit too over the top. It's good to be aggressive, but you have to be, you know, aggressive in a controlled way. I mean, you can't really win a chess game unless your opponent makes mistakes, I think. Otherwise, chess is a draw. You can't, like, throw everything at them, including the kitchen sink. You've got to be a little bit more controlled. So this is a poor move, I think, blocking the c pawn from influencing the center. I talk about that a lot with beginners. I mean, the knight controls the center, but most importantly, it's all right, but the pawn behind it can't attack the center, like Chigorin. Chigorin variation of the Queen's Gambit. So that's his problem. He has this, what I call a sort of traffic jam. That's a domino effect, almost. Now he has to move, let's see, he's moving the same piece twice. Interesting question about me with the central pawn tension, if I should exchange pawns or just do what I did. Should I play c takes d? I don't like it because if I exchange pawns, it opens up this diagonal for his bishop to be developed. Thanks again from Cooking Rooks, or for on behalf of Cooking Rooks. No, thank you, Cooking Rooks, for your donation. I can't phrase things properly or even stay awake. What is wrong with me? Rook e8. Alright, he's basically playing the Rogozin Queen's Gambit down a tempo by playing bishop e7, bishop e4. Other than that, it's alright. Now b6, knight looks sus. The knight is sus. There's this diagonal. So now we try to exploit this pin. Looks like he's going to lose a piece here. Asterbeat, Carlsen's Armageddon game against So. Whoa. Let me understand this again. Man, this guy must be pretty decent tactically. Calculates that no problem. Diagnosis. This player is decent tactically. You're not playing the right opening if you're a good tactical player. Pahuyar. Your setup is too closed, too quiet. You should probably try something else that leads to more open play. Maybe the Queen's Gambit decline, like Tarash variation. For example, Knight c3, c5, you know, open the game. It looks like he's good at tactics. So I was actually looking at this rook takes c6. Let's see. Rook takes c6, winning a pawn, but then bishop d6, and he's very solid. If I take with the queen, he grabs my pawn on a2, which looks rather messy. Queen c6, queen a2, queen f6, rook e6, queen f5, or something like that. I mean, we are better. Now, the position gets a little messy, but I think his king side is not very safe. Let's see, queen a2, queen f6, for example. c7's hanging. I am worried about losing both my pawns on the queen side in the long run. I don't think I played this the best. I try to play, but I'm also sort of trying to help people to understand their strengths and weaknesses and improve. So if I talk about your style, or I'm just doing that from the perspective of a chess teacher. This is a mistake. He's down a pawn. He definitely shouldn't trade queens. So queen a2, no doubts. This was his only chance to play queen a2, keep the queens on the board, and try to create some kind of imbalance, because now it's not imbalanced. Now we have a very clear position. Here is a mistake again. He should save this key pawn on c7. The pawn on f6 is not nearly as important. It's a useless pawn, relatively useless pawn. The one on c7 is far more relevant because it's part of a queenside majority, theoretically. I think you give me the f pawn and try to keep the other one. But now White has to open file. Clear 2 pawns up. Black has no chance. But the big mistake was not playing queen a2. This is over. I just double on the c file and bring my king to like d3. Black has no chances. I can fix his double pawns with f5, g3, move my king over to f1 up here. And I'll slowly trade off all the pieces. It's not very exciting, you know, but it gets the job done. No, his big blunder is you know, not losing a pawn in opening, but I think not trading, you know, trading queens down material. You got to be practical. I'll fix the pawn structure like that and then come up here. Yeah, look at this. That's amazing. Amazing move. You got to give him credit for king f5, trying to activate the king. It's good, spirited endgame play. It might even work against a weak player. If he could get his king like crazy aggressive, he might even have compensation for a couple of pawns. If I was careless there. I'm looking for this outpost. Have you seen my outpost? Unfortunately, there's no mate, no apparent mate exactly. With like sacrificing the exchange or something. Now he has f5. Yeah, I take that back. I don't want to go to f3. The point was to put my knight on f5. Let's put it on f5. It's sort of stupid to do otherwise. I mean, I could play f4 check. That allows a tactic. Alright, he has bishop e5, which was bothering me. Really, an intrepid defender. How hard he's trying here, he must get a lot of bad positions. It's a sign that you're used to defending bad positions, how hard he's defending this. Alright, you need work in the opening. Rematch. I don't do rematches. We try to play one game with everybody. So Sadamasa. The H3 King's Indian. No, that's a different player. I was thinking of play like Kasparov. Although you also play King's Indian. Do you mind if I upload our game on my YouTube? No, not at all. Rock, she loves chess. Not at all. So G3, just to mix it up a little. It's kind of an unusual move order. I normally play D5 against people who do this. Now he's listening to me. Now he's listening. WJ with beer money. I've got beer money and coffee money today. That's awesome. Premise here. WJ with 500 pride bits. Man, thank you guys to Cooking Rooks and WJ Loof. Generous donations. Is everybody staying up late? Or you just don't have to work on Friday? WJ Loof, are you on a reprieve? This, I guess, could transpose to a Grunfeld. Coffee and beer. Coffee's definitely more expensive than beer now. Black's going for D takes C4, so I don't know what this is. It's a normal Grunfeld, right? Catalan Grunfeld, Queen's Gambit accepted, hybrid. But technically, he should play D5 on move 2. That's what I was always taught. Now we're going to transpose to Grunfeld. You're on AT, at least a month off. Maybe more. Oh. You had a severe mental breakdown after working 134 hours in 8 days. No wonder. Yeah, I mean, that should be illegal. Can't do that, you have to. Yeah, you have to. Man, I couldn't work half that much. Pace yourself, WJ Loof. I mean, I know you're not as old as my 39 years. But still, the key is to pace yourself. So Sada Masagana and I, we have transposed to. Yeah, I had a game with this kid from Israel. Now his name is escaping me. Probably like pretty strong by now. 4 years ago here. I lose track of when things were. Ellie something. In Budapest Spring Festival, like 2017. Maybe it was 2018. I can't remember. Maybe 2018. The last time I played in the Budapest Spring Festival, I played this for the first time. It's a mainline Grunfeld. It's not the first time I played it. I played it against, actually, Viktor Mikhайловsky on World Chess Network like 20 years ago. It's always the Israeli Grunfeld experts who face me. But alright. I always found it weird to play the structure. It looks like you have like tons of weaknesses. Look at all like the holes all over. The whole position is like, it's like a kind of Swiss cheese. My old friend Alexander Wojtkiewicz was the expert on this line with white. But I have a book on the Grunfeld by Mikhail Chisin from 20 years ago. Everything I have is from 20 years ago. But they covered this with Beliavsky pretty seriously. Man, I remember my game with Mikhайловsky where he was like sitting on the white squares or some kind of... He got his queen on a5. There's all these holes in the position that it's hard to play. And your bishop is like blocked in inside the pawn chain. Last time I was a draw, I was better. I was trying to beat that kid, but it wasn't enough. He ended up drawing. Another 3 rating points down the drain. But I started to get the feeling like I understood what I was doing the last time I played this. Now the feeling has gone away. Again, I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe bishop e2. See, like, this is weird, right? You're like fianchettoing your bishop into air or stone rock. It's like Star Trek. They're afraid they're going to transport into the stone rock deep in the planet. That's what I feel like when I play bishop e2 in this position. Scotty, make sure you're not going to transport into the stone rock. You could end up in the middle of the Earth's crust, man. Captain. That's seriously you know, ridiculous bishop. But it could open up like c4 and suddenly you're on the diagonal and you're no longer stuck inside the Earth's crust. Do I want to do that though? Maybe not. Maybe we'll wait. There is this diagonal too. So c4 is an option. It leaves my knight ridiculous. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to leave my knight out there. So I got a bad knight, a bad bishop. I could have played knight fe5. But I don't know what difference it would have made. For all I know, this could be theory. Theory? What is theory? a4. You know, maybe I ought to think about this a little bit. Thinking never hurt. Black is throwing away his advantage. His advantage? What? Prem666 always has the weirdest comments. His advantage? What advantage? Now, I'll admit that he's probably equal, but advantage, man, now you're going too far. Advantage? What? He always makes, like, insightful, no, incendiary comments. Incendiary. Setting fire to the stream. Big fan of Chessborn. Alright, which way do we want to take? Well, I don't really want to have a backward c-pawn. Big fan of Angelica. Welcome. Incendiary means like you set things on fire. Flammable. Incendiary. Knight c6. Knight c6. Knight c6 takes. Oh. I feel like Homer. Alright, knight c6, pawn takes, bishop, knight takes, rook takes a3. Is he better or worse there? I'm just gonna suck it up and admit that was a stupid move. I forgot he could play b4. Homer Simpson.
Yeah, baby.
All right. That Homer. The dope. I just allow b4 with tempo. That wasn't smart. Yeah, I don't have enough time to play this position well. Now it's degenerating into a bullet game. You played a few Blitz games, and now I'm 1700, not 1600. Did I miss something there with knight? I missed knight c6, knight takes b4. Maybe. Think positive. But wait. Blockade is an important concept. I don't deserve to win this game. Black was pretty much alright. but it's still theoretically possible. Man, he's trying like sneaky stuff like bishop h6. Position is really should be a draw. Incendiary weapons, like flamethrowers. Wow. We both butchered this endgame. I should have been lost. I don't want to talk about it. To go from loss to winning in an endgame that should have been a draw. Well, that's why I like bullet chess, basically. Good players can look like complete raving idiots, like in a totally standard rooking game with no time. We played like bumbling fools. With what should have been a really simple kind of endgame, which was basically equal. Both sides had wins. It's like terrible. Good game. Yeah. My heartfelt answer to that would be, thanks for the game. But I can't say good game. Thank you for playing and for being a good sport. But good game, we can't say literally. Yeah, I mean, we need enough time to make quality moves. I would say, in over the board chess, you're getting 30-second increments. That's sufficient to play a relatively, well, even that's not sufficient, really. Look at the end games from the candidates tournament where people were like blowing drawn endings. But for Blitz, like 30 seconds should be good. There were some tricky positions where he sacked his rook and he might still, be lost. The way he was set up on the king side, his king was in a bad position. King on h6, pawns at h5, g5, where I still have a g3 pawn. Yeah, well, okay. It's perspective. You're getting like me. You're getting dementia and too much work. WJ Loof makes you dyslexic. All right. You should have exchanged the rooks. I'm not sure like which position he could have exchanged rooks. You could have exchanged rooks. I've had this game like several times recently. This is weird. Exact same position I think I played like twice. Oh, rook e3? If you exchange rooks there, well, honestly, you could have like eaten all my pawns too, and then maybe sacked your rook. I thought the king and pawn game would be okay for me. After rook e3, I thought that was probably something like a draw. But the question is, how could you win? You know, maybe you were winning. I figured you were winning. It's not a matter of drawing. You could have taken my f2 pawn and then taken probably like all of my pawns, then sacked your rook. I don't know. Feels like there was a way black was winning. I mean, you're just up a pawn in that rook in game. Maybe you're just up a pawn winning, you know. Maybe that's a winning in game. One pawn up. I don't get the reference. I don't know the episode, WJ Leaf. I guess it'd be more active to put my knight on c6. We have very generous donations from WJ Leaf for beer, which I don't need right now, maybe later, and coffee from Cooking Rooks. The coffee, I think I need a long walk and a giant coffee. But that rook e1, yeah, very similar to a game I had, I think, in classical last week. I'm not feeling it today. I thought I slept pretty well last night, but apparently I'm in trouble. Homer had crayon in his nose. Oh yeah, I'm thinking of Bart. All right, when you said crayon in his nose, I thought that was like a Bart did it in school thing, and then I was like, wait. I couldn't remember an episode where Bart put a crayon in his nose. He became the smartest man in Springfield. I don't think I saw that. I haven't got to that point where I watched every single Simpsons episode, but I think it's a good idea. I've been on this like TV kick where I watch a lot of old TV, but I haven't gotten as modern as The Simpsons. Yeah, that's a lot of episodes. But if the pandemic spans another couple of years, I could probably get it done. Man needs something to keep him busy during global pandemics. I've watched every episode of The Twilight Zone. Let's see. That's my most recent conquest. Knight c3. We've created a backward pawn for ourselves, but it's only a minor inconvenience. Do not panic. We're talking Simpsons, season 1 to 8. That's amazing. It's been going on for 33 years. Yesterday I saw a Twilight episode with Lee Marvin. It's funny when there's like these old actors and you never realize they died. Like, for all I know, Lee Marvin is like still alive. And I looked it up and he died in like 1995 or something. There are tons of other actors who are like 95 and they're still alive. He's been dead for like 25 years. Who knows? Charles Bronson is dead. So I guess action, sort of like tough guy action actors don't live as long or something. It made me wonder though, did Lee Marvin should have been like on the A team instead of that other guy, George Papard. He would have made a good A team guy. Anyway, we talk about just random stuff here on the stream. Please bear with us. My mind is just not very focused. But I do like that about the Twilight Zone, that there's all these like famous actors who are on it, playing like, bit parts, one episode. It makes it kind of fun. Guest stars. It's like the Muppet Show. You know what? That's really disturbing, right? You can't watch the Muppet Show. Where can you watch the Muppet Show? You can't like download it on Amazon. So it's property of Disney. I think it's like the Disney streaming service or something. That's annoying. You can't like buy episodes of the Muppet Show. All right, what are we gonna do? Disney Plus. Oh, the Hanging at Owl Creek. Yeah, that's kind of morbid. There were some morbid episodes that I wouldn't watch with my kids. But it's good. Dramatic. Yeah. Yeah, that's a crazy episode. That's extremely scary. But like very good dramatic, filmmaking. Why didn't I study filmmaking instead of psychology and chess? Something instructive. Or constructive even. Dracofire snuck me with the E5. Oh my god, man. You got me with that? This is tough. He's got the power. He resigned. But don't resign. Resigning is bad for your health. No. I knew a guy at my school who there was a school for filmmaking at BU. Could have studied filmmaking. F5, E takes F, Rook takes F. I was in the College of Liberal Arts. Knight e4 F5. Pawn takes F5, man. You're resigning too early. Why are you resigning here? Should have studied something fun. But resigning is definitely not a good idea. E takes F6, Rook takes F6. This is actually a great save by White. I mean, the E5 move is like, I thought it was brilliancy. It's a blunder according to the computer. Damn it. Brilliancy or blunder? The engine says it's a blunder. I thought it was a brilliancy. But Asterbait likes to play E5. It's actually a blunder, but why? Like, I can play pawn takes pawn. Okay, so what? What's the big deal? Okay, so it's the same premise. It's just a better version of what happened in the game. If he takes, I take, and then he takes, and then I check, and then the fork is for real. And then on 94, we really have an F-pawn that doesn't get captured on passant, and actually we can resign with White for real in that position. Man, we've got like tons of challenges. I'm never going to get to all these games. I'm canceling challenges. There's a player from China? Wow. I'm normally going to cancel challenges from people who are like doing 3+2. If you're challenging me to 3+2, please re-challenge me to 5+3. Any comments on the role of psychology in chess? I don't know. Only know the role of this game's turning into bullet games, which is sort of stupid. That's an awfully general question to address, WJ Loof. I try to apply psychology every day. Never use my degree for anything. Scared Knight, yes. Oh no. The Fajarowitz. This is his favorite line. Incorrigible. Scared Knight will only play this and nothing else. So what's happening here? Knight c3, bishop takes b4, queen c2. I'm just pretending I'm playing like Chessmaster 3000. No, actually it was Chessmaster. Was it Chessmaster 3000? One of the Chessmasters used to play the Budapest Gambit. really dating myself with that comment, but you know I'm old. It's not a secret. One of the chess masters. I don't have time to sit around and memorize the refutation of the Fajarowicz gambit, dude. So I'll just take an equal position. I've never once in my 35-year chess history had anyone play the Fajarowicz against me in more than a Blitz game. I know that you like this opening Scared Knight, but honestly, I can't be bothered by taking it seriously. There's just too much. There's just not enough time in life to learn how to play the white side of Fajarowicz gambit and refute it. Life is too short for that. What do we want to do? Yeah, Chessmaster the computer program, that's what I'm talking about. This was part of its opening repertoire. No, but it didn't play Fajarowicz. It played the main line, like with knight g4. Yeah, I was talking about the computer program. The programmers of Chessmaster thought like playing the Budapest Gambit would be a smart idea for a computer program because it incites like very open positions. I mean, I just know that a3 is recommended, man, but it doesn't strike me as a very constructive move. I can't bring myself to play that. That's the problem. There's something about a3 that makes me like, oh, that can't be the best move. It does nothing for white. It doesn't further our development in any way. That bothers me. But this, ironically, might be the flaw in that whole thinking. You want the computer to get to play some kind of open game, but you're giving it like this thing where it ends up in this sort of lifeless, equalish sort of end game where the human could easily make a draw against it, like this type of position. Even a top flight engine is going to have a hard time beating me here. Basically, the Budapest Gambit is flawed. It's a flawed opening where you might want to get a sharp position, but you end up with this instead, like a thankless endgame where the best, even Magnus Carlsen probably couldn't beat me here. White's position is just too easy to play. I mean, he could beat me, but probably shouldn't would be a better word, a better description. Magnus shouldn't be able to beat me from this position. Sure, I could lose on a bad day, but most of the time I would hold a draw from this position, even against Magnus Carlsen. So Scared Knight, is this a deep sacrifice or a blunder? He was thinking only about this, but not so much about me taking on f4. You learn chess from your psychologist. But you didn't say you learned psychology from your chess coach. Alright. So what are we going to do? Got all sorts of tricks. Does that work? Wait. I believe in learning from everything. It's a good attitude. I wanted to study economics, but I ended up doing psychology. I realized that I hate math. Psychology is a good field if you hate math, for the most part. Bishop e6, bishop takes c6. Black will be close to equalizing. Not the move I expected. Tomorrow you have an under 14 online. Ugh. I don't want to think about it. The realm of online chess tournaments. Big fan of Angelica. Top 2 players will go to play the final in July. Well, I hope there's some kind of controls in place. Rook f7? What? Wait, what? Yeah, Zoom tournaments. Vroom vroom. A5. What do I do? B4? At least my losing chances are limited here. I'm a little skeptical of online chess tournaments. But I realize that's, in many cases, the only thing to do. That's the only option right now for some places. Am I winning this? Close. Secret Knight. Now I'm only like one pawn up at the moment because my pawns are doubled in a sense. But hopefully that will not remain that way forever. We can always undouble Mr. F pawn. Mr. and Mrs. F pawn. Can anyone be a chess arbiter? Well, you have to pass some kind of qualifications. Depending on whether we're talking about international or national level. Arbitration. International arbitrage. WJ, with any pointers on same color bishop endgames? Well, they're much more unforgiving than opposite color bishop endgames. You know, a pawn up. Let's put it this way: 2 pawns up is almost always a win. 1 pawn up is often a win. But, you know, there are a surprising number of same color bishop endgames that are pawn down and still a draw. If all of his pawns had been on the right color, like if his structure on the king side had consisted of dark square pawns, instead of being stuck on the white squares, he has a chance for this to be a draw. But this situation is very bad. He's down 2 pawns, well, let's say 1.5 pawns, plus his pawns are on the wrong color. So it's like even worse than just being down a pawn and a half already. But I mean, there I was very careful not to give a very dangerous tactical player any chances. Sheks we played before? I don't remember that. It must be a while since we played. Alright. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people think, okay, opposite color bishop endgames are drawish, but not the case with same color bishops. There are many cases where you're 1 pawn down and you can draw, but you want your pawns to be on the opposite color of your bishop. This is very, very important. A lot of people think it's good to have the pawns on the same color of your bishop so you can protect them. But actually, the relevant thing is that they get in the way. The pawns are actually getting in the way of your bishop, obstructing it, and being targets for the enemy bishop. I had a game like this not that long ago. I don't know if it was against you or someone else, but there was some sort of b4 attempt on my life. Yeah, it's a weird setup. It's interesting. I also had a game last year where my opponent played some kind of Grand Prix attack with a3. Apparently some recommendation of I guess Simon Williams. Who else? I know Simon used to play this a3 stuff, so it must be all part of his repertoire. I'm not a huge fan of this structure. I wonder if I should take with the knight. How is taking with the knight here? Is there anything wrong with taking with the knight? For something new and totally different. I hate that symmetrical pawn structure. I'm sure like the computer would always take with the e pawn there. Yeah, most people take with the pawn there, but as I'm saying, like, I detest when the pawn structure is totally symmetrical. No, I mean, you shouldn't have any problem with that. To equalize with black, Sacred Knight is a good accomplishment. But I think you know, stylistically, the players who play the Budapest Gambit are like wildly tactical style players in most cases, so they may be uncomfortable playing an equal endgame. Magnus Carlsen will beat them every time. I mean, you don't play the Budapest because you want to play a boring endgame, right? You want to get some action. Now, if I play that against a boring player, I would probably get a draw every time. That's sort of psychology. Trying to judge what to play against who based on their stylistic preference. You don't want to play what I played against Scared Knight, that kind of endgame against a boring player. I'll never win. Now he can take on d5. But still, you shouldn't really complain about equalizing with black. I know the line that I played is probably close to equal. Knight to b5. Uh-oh. What's this hole here? That's an issue. We have to be careful. Wow. I don't like this, but we'll have to make way for bishop a8. We can't be losing our white square bishop. This must be given another space. Do you have anything to recommend for players with my style? Well, I mean, you know, you like tactics and open positions. Against d4. I think the Benoni is a standard recommendation. For players who like open games. The modern Benoni Shaq's getting dynamic. This bishop is funny. He wants so bad to get into the game. Well, I mean, many variations of the Benoni. Yeah, I think it's playable. There's one problem with the f4 bishop e5 check line. But you could avoid that by playing like knight f6 and e6 and c5 on move 3. Another recommendation is the Benko Gambit, though that's a little more positional. And my other recommendation is to play the Tarash, which a lot of people grimace. But Tarash leads to open games. You could always play other Gambit style stuff like the Albin counter Gambit or the Henning-Schara Gambit, which is closely related. So he's losing a piece here, right? Yeah, he loses a piece to f5. So I thought like b4, right? But is he losing a piece already? He's already losing a piece to f5. I mean, he can't get out of it. He has to go back to b5. It's already lost. I mean, he can go here. And that's got to be only move. What was the gambit you mentioned? The Henning-Schara Gambit. So you play like d4, d5, c4, e6, knight c3, c5, you know, c takes d5, c takes d4, queen takes d4, knight c6, queen d1, e takes d5, queen d5, bishop d7. Uber Driver, who's a solid player, was even playing like, what was he doing against me? Bishop e6, like, but that's kind of boring. That leads to another endgame where black basically plays for a draw. That I wouldn't recommend. But I mean, this is actually a good gambit. Black's score isn't that bad. And if white's not well versed in it, he can easily get in trouble. So I think it's a reasonable try. Exactly. Well, I recommended that to someone on Sound, but he didn't want to take it up. I don't know why, because the Albin is objectively very similar. But even the Albin, you know, if you're playing the Budapest Gambit Fajarowicz, what's the difference? If you play the Albin Gambit or Budapest Fajarowicz, they're both the same level, essentially, of Gambit. Just different. Level of Gambits. Gambit review. We could do a new YouTube channel. I'm not really a Gambit player, though. Gambit review. Alright, do the Marazzi. No Marazzi. Man, I haven't had a real accelerated dragon in like months. I've been playing the classical Sicilian more. He worked with you on the Albin? Yeah, I mean, the thing about someone on sound that makes him tricky is like he pretends to be a Gambit guy, but actually he's very positional. He has like a kind of personality disorder, chess personality disorder, or some sort of misconception about his own identity as a chess player. In reality, he's very positional, but he's playing these like sharp openings that are Gambit style. Yeah, Yevgeny. Schieberspieler and Yevgeny have played the Marazzi against me a lot. I mean, I basically play the Accelerated Dragon as a drawing line. That's my solid opening. So knight takes d4. I have this in a correspondence game now. What are the chances? We can't all be tigers and snakes. Tigers and snakes. Oh my. Wow, f takes e. Theoretical novelty. What are you supposed to do about that? I'm confused. No, I'm serious. What am I supposed to do about that? What is this? Neil clapped you. F takes E, theoretical novelty. I mean, it's not a theoretical position, but it happens that I've had this 2 times in the last like 6 months. One of them happening to be a correspondence game that I'm playing now. And the only games that existed ever in the Opening Explorer with knight takes e4. So f takes e4. Huh. Maybe that's a stronger move. Knight g4 is fascinating. I introduce you to the concept of the queue. I realize everyone can't see we have a queue. So there is a list of players. You can't see on the stream, I guess. Up on the right hand corner there's a couple of challenges. So I don't, you know, I'm not trying to avoid people's challenges. I still have 3 challenges ongoing. NKK just challenged me, but it's rated. So I have to do casual only. If you could re-challenge me to casual 5+3, I will take you up on that offer. I mean, yeah, I can move the board over so everybody can see. There's a little orange blip up there on the right hand corner that shows how many challenges there are. But if I do that, you can't see the ratings of my opponents. We can make it so. Make it so, number 1. You can just see the orange blip. Barely. So you're like challenge 3 or 4 in the list. If you just challenge me now. I was actually concerned that white might have some craziness with knight d5 here. I was literally looking at knight d5, queen d5, ed5, bishop h6, but I don't think so. But if I could trade queens, black's position is fairly solid. We haven't had a good ambulance in a while, so that's nice to hear. Today we don't do, yeah, I try to make it so we encourage new people to join in and play on Fridays. Exactly. Knight here is like that's like Roach Motel. So we go to e5. Anyone have an ambulance badge? Amazing how much those things carry sound-wise. Interesting. I can't just lose a pawn here. Take a deep breath. White's played creatively. First ever f takes e4. And now continuous threats. Black managing to escape the stranglehold of white's. Super fast play. Whew, man, I just like barely managed to equalize with perfect play. David Lee Roth was an ambulance pyramid? Damn, dude, it just keeps coming back in like circles or something. How does it go by twice? Yeah, I guess it's normal for the sort of noise to stress you out. It makes me stressed out when I hear ambulances. But we always had that. It's not just the pandemic. Ambulances in Hungary are a pandemic. Man, White's play is awfully strong for 1677. He's like the strongest 1600 in the world. Perfect play so far. And he's still right around equal. Maybe in inaccuracy. We're starting to get something going. Yeah, I mean, he's just ridiculous speed and solid style for a 1677 lichess player. He's 1400 in bullet and plays like this. I mean, it's like Nefedov. He's 2000 easily on lichess, playing like this. He's a rock and he's super fast. Both, you know, one or the other I could see, but both super fast and a rock is a lot. The rock. I have a big train station pretty close to my house, yeah, but I don't know if that's relevant. We have a lot of hospitals around. Are you living in part of Belgrade? Yeah, I'm pretty much the same. Pest. He's got tactics here. Kind of scary tactics with like 95. How could he be 1400 in bullet and this fast? It's impossible. Oh, I don't play much bullet. Yeah, I mean he's no 14. He's no 1600. I mean, his play is like 2100 lichess easily. He is pretty strong. I don't know what's up with his rating, but it's not right. Definitely. Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. He's got me down to 14 seconds. Yeah, he ain't no 1400 bullet player, that's for sure. He's at least 1800. That's his classical rating. Wow, another defense. So bishop e2 holds. He's actually going to draw the game. He's not even going to lose like on the board, it looks like. He's played like a perfect game, basically. Which wouldn't bother me if he was like 2000. But given his rating, it bothers me. That definitely bothers me. Yeah, he's unbelievably strong. Way too strong. It's kind of weird. From a master, maybe. At least an elite chess 2200 is believable. Your master level. I think I'm finally winning. Now he goes into this king and pawn endgame. Yeah, I mean, it might be a draw there somehow, right? Sack, make me. That's weird, man. I mean, it's probably a draw right until the end. This still could be a draw. It's a draw if he plays c4. So he's a drawn position until move 47. Wow. Alright. The end game eludes you. Play like Kasparov. 12:30. We've got another hour left in the stream. We have almost an hour left in the stream, guys. Thanks to Cooking Rooks, and we can check after this game if you want what the status was, but it looked like it was a draw, Bijak. I'm always like trying to experiment with something new. Using the weird move order here. What? A PSA? That's a public service announcement. Everybody knows that. It's when your television makes that beep. No one knows what a television is anymore. Mommy, what's a television? Psychiatric service animal. So we have exactly Play Like Kasparov's game with Azoria. Wow, A5, the new approach. Alright. So this is different. Now we're really playing like Kasparov. Yeah, that's something WJ Liv probably knew. He knows a lot of random stuff. Alright. Knight F3. I wouldn't have known that. I thought it was when there was a nuclear war and they do that beeping sound on the television. No, this is a test of the emergency broadcasting system. Beep. Alright. So I went with the G4. Yesterday we saw a Play Like Kasparov game where he played C6 early in one of these lines, but I mean, you know, I just don't like playing C6. It's white side of the board on the queen side. Now you do have to do it at some point in these lines. I lost a game like this, maybe this exact position. I don't think I played H6 against Gayash, but I lost kind of like this myself a couple years ago. You could use a therapy animal, but after my pet passed, my landlord put no pets in your lease. Are you serious? That sucks. Can you please tell it when your turn? I've got Flaming Poop, Pengju, Title Brian Lay with 600, 600, 600. I assume that's you. Title Brian. You don't have enough games, man, to qualify. And then it's Wait H White, who has lots of games. Who is that, by the way? Who's the high-rated 2370 player? Is that you, or are you the Title Brian with 600 ratings? I don't like people with trolly ratings in my stream. Alright. Well, I don't mind them in the stream, but I don't like playing people with like 600, 600, 600 ratings that are like made up, you know? It's not cool to manipulate your rating. That's not fair. rating manipulator. That's against the rules. Yeah, but I mean, now you're going to enter tournaments and you'll be like 600 and screw up the whole system. That's incorrect. Why are you 600? You like lost games on purpose? Not really cool. Troll in the roll. It's against the terms of service of lichess to like manipulate your rating. I don't mean to be like a rule Nazi, but a lot of times people manipulate the system. All right, bishop e2. You can get blocked for that, but I don't serve an official capacity on lichess. Just letting you know, I wouldn't do that. Bishop e2. So I don't know, what about my king? Am I supposed to like walk it over here? I guess king f1, king g2. Some days it feels like a race to the bottom. I was telling Astrobate WJ Loof, if you feel like you're not playing well, I mean, you know, just don't play. Well, I only report people for serious violations. If I know someone is cheating, or if they're really affecting things by, I've never actually reported anyone for rating you know, manipulation. I only report people who I'm 100% convinced are cheating. But I mean, I've had students who are, or friends who are banned because they played, you know, they lost 100 bullet games and 100 rating points in bullet in one day. That's pretty weird. All right, so this looks like absolutely theoretical. Play like Kasparov is playing like Kasparov, for whatever that's worth. Right, whatever, but I mean, cheating is one thing, but it's against the rules to manipulate your rating to look funny. You know, that means you're like losing games on purpose, which is against the rules. Or giving people rating points, you know. Whatever you're doing to get your rating to 600 is illegitimate if you're 1900. You shouldn't do that. But that's the other guy talking. All right, whatever. Knight c5, what do I do? Is b5 coming in? That's the big question. So what do I do about b5? I don't know where our time went. You know, where the heck did play like Kasparov's time go? Where did my time go? So if he tries to play b5, I'll grab his knight and then take the pawn on b5. Like, for example, CB, bishop takes c5, takes, bishop takes b5, bishop takes b5, knight takes b5. So I don't get it. You know, this is exactly what I'm talking about. If I take here, I know that's an important piece, but his bishop is blocked in. You know, so we'll take our chances with that. First off. Okay. I'm just pointing all that thing out about rating manipulation because a lot of people think, oh, it's totally funny and cool. But it's not really cool because people are trying to like take their rating seriously. And you go, you're 600 and you crush someone who's 1500 and you think it's funny, but they're pissed, you know. Position. Basically play like Kasparov, just sacrifice the pawn for strategic considerations. I'm really out of my head today. I have like foggy brain, can't calculate. Fog brain. Didn't feel awake today. In other words, brain fog. Okay, that's even more material. He sacked 2 pawns now. Scary. My head hurts. What am I doing? Found that. Master had that move. We're gonna lose a pawn. Back. What? He's a maniac. Now, who sung that song? This reminds me of our last game. Oh, you took. Wow, that wasn't what I was counting on. I did not count on you doing that. I thought you were going to play it the other way. So it's going to be another one of those miraculous saves, just like last time. Like the last time we had like a simul game, or what was it? Exactly the same routine. The miracle save with like no time left. That's weird. It's like a coincidence. It's not a happy rook, it's a happy rook now. So he basically starts to play like God at some point. It's really weird. It happened like the last 3 games in a row. Every time it's the same routine. He just starts to miraculously play perfectly at the end of the game, and I'm just stuck with nothing. Like the last time he has the better he plays. It's really weird. Can I win this somehow? I doubt it. What? Another instant move? Seriously, what is going on here? What? He just freaked out. Wow. Damn, dude, you must be a good bullet player. He's 1885 bullet. That doesn't even make sense. I don't understand what happened here. I think you were like winning now. The whole stage of like move 30 to move 45 was like he became like God, and then he blundered at the end and lost. Wow. Look at this. I think that black might be better. He wasn't better. I thought I might be lost. Man. Rook takes a4, knight e5, rook b4, best move. He finds that with like 4 seconds. That is not an easy move to play. I guess it is. I mean, if I take, I'm endangered. Now I'm like barely holding on. I thought I was lost here. But why don't you play rook takes b5? There's no way you can lose after rook takes b5. I'm groveling for a draw. It's a draw. I mean, it's bishop and rook pawn. My king is like a million miles away, though. You know, here, check, king g6, whatever. Bring my king over here. Same thing as last time. He saves this lost position. That's amazing. Every time I play him, he's like totally busted and then comes out of nowhere. Flamingo pop. Last time was the same exact position. King's Indian. I almost lost it. Knight f3 is weakest. Bishop g5. Oh. Well, knight f3 is a King's Indian classical with h3. Yeah, it's like a Petrosian system. That's what I said yesterday. Right. It's not really a Makaganov if you play knight f3. Yeah. I hate playing against the Tory attack, but it's at least slightly more interesting than the London. This, however, is supposed to be like an inaccuracy, I think. I've tried that move order with white. You're basically playing a hybrid King's Indian, and now c4 is not right because of knight e4. And I have c5. So now black is okay. You're not supposed to play c4 there. We have a good King's Indian, Benoni. a4 was the computer recommendation. You mean when I played King f1? Oh, a5. Yeah, I mean a5's I would think main line. But I don't understand h6, Prem. Are you really supposed to play h6? I guess. Maybe you have to. Maybe you can play like some sort of a6, knight d7, and c5. Did you look at that? Instead of playing for e5? I don't know. I don't really like h6 for black in that. Seems like h6 is a weakening. Maybe it doesn't matter. I remember there's some other variation with playing a6, knight on bd7, and c5, and then you could play some sort of b5, like sacrifices or something. Check. What do I do? Queen c2 hitting my knight. Huh. I mean, I can always retreat the knight if I have to. I imagine that f5, though, isn't that crazy as it looks. Queen a5 check. It almost looks like a Leningrad Dutch. Similar ideas I have seen in Leningrad Dutch. Coming for you quickly here. We've got to go and get him before his king gets out of the center. Do I have g5 there, by the way? Maybe now I'm threatening some sort of g5. You're one of those guys that do what? You go to the park and play chess with the old guys. We have nice new chess tables here in Budapest in the park. So if you want to play with old guys, this is the place to go. I was kind of reluctant during COVID to go down to the park and play chess with strangers. But at some point, dude, what happened? My window just closed. All right, I minimized it. GM Hansen Walker? That must be Tranquilizer. GM Tranquilizer. Another GM streamer. GM streamer clone. You're pretty sure that you're the best player in town? The only player in town. Depends on the population of your town, WJ Loof. I used to walk around and see chess players on the street, like master strength players. But it seems like the local population has been dwindling in my neighborhood. I was joking about this a couple years ago. Like when I first started streaming about four years ago, I had literally like three IMs living on my street. What is up here? Oh my gosh. We gotta go for it with the G5. Where's the mate? He had Queen B3. I was thinking Queen B1. Where's the beef? I'm now the only IM on my street now for a couple of years. I'm the only IM left in the neighborhood, actually. We used to have 4 at the peak. Well, I have a part-time. One IM owns an apartment in my neighborhood, but he rents it out. He doesn't actually live here. So I'm the only resident IM in my neighborhood. That's amazing though. Within like a 3-block radius, we had 4 at one point. Not bad. See, you can't really, do that anywhere in the world except like maybe, I don't know, Belgrade or Budapest. Even in New York City. Oh man, I'm hallucinating. Whoa. What? You have that? Bishop takes G5? Man, I thought I had something here. Mother of all hallucinations. Wow. I really thought I had it. Well, Flamingo Pop doesn't even need to think. I don't like that knight where it is. I'm screwing this up. This is a little experimental. It was slightly experimental. Doesn't look like I played this right. Maybe I should take with the knight on d5. Man, his speed is impressive. Do you ever make a blunder? I do have a powerful center here, waiting to be released. What is my queen on a5 doing? Absolutely nothing. The mother of all pawn centers. Now that's a pawn center. Fleet center. Yeah, I'd rather not and say I did. Let's not give him any breaks. He's just hanging f2 last move. But I have got to give him credit, you know. I've never seen anyone be so good at not making blunders and just sort of hanging out. And he has such good sense for keeping the tension. That's highly unusual. It's pretty amazing. Whoa. What? What? Wow. That is alarming. That last tactical move is alarming. He's like positional god. Check out how fast he is. That is seriously disturbing. The way he spotted knight g4 in that position was unbelievable. What? What? You just dropped a piece? You're dropping everything. Wow. That's a weird game. All right. I've got a half an hour left. 2 or 3 more games. The f3 Nimzo. I thought that the chess, what's it called? What's the Damian Lemos? Lemos? The spam site? I thought they were bought by Magnus Carlsen. He can give up the emails now. He's sold. I thought he sold out. iChess. They managed to sell their business. I think I've like never been paid anything for all the videos that have been downloaded for that site from that site. What What is happening? This is an unusual move. b5, d takes e6. Taking there isn't usually played. Most people play e4. You're playing it like it's a normal Blumenfeld. They contacted me to work for them and like make videos for iChess, but then they were like, oh, you've got to like do this and that and the other thing and wear a suit when you make your videos. I was like, screw that, man. I'm not going to do that. But they wanted you to fulfill all these conditions. I was like, man, whatever. e4. So I take and then play d5. You have e5. All right. This is possibly even a variation. But I think he's in trouble now. He or she. Or them. Unless I'm hallucinating again. King f7 might be a square. Never be afraid to use the old f7 square. It looks like white's in trouble. They're in trouble on the e-file. I mean, I like the Yasser Seirawan, and I think he's right about dressing well and presenting himself, you know, as a classy individual, not wearing a tracksuit. But at the same time, I don't like, you know, being like forced to all these conditions. I was like, whatever. A lot of these chess video sites try to exploit chess players by paying them really, really crappy amounts. iChess or whatever probably don't pay the content creators, you know, that well. Black just dropped. I mean, Black just won a piece here. There's overdressing for the situation, yeah. Now White lost a piece. I had to buy like a special webcam. It was like, whatever. We've got three more challenges, though. What's my last challenge that just disappeared? No rated. My rating's low enough already. I don't need your help to be like 23.99. No rated challenges. Now we want to catch his king in the center. That's the danger with the f3 Nimzo. If you're wondering why I'm holding my head, it's my head. My brain is big, so I have to. And we're getting the sun again. All right, the Panda webcam. Yeah, I mean that's why we have a Panda webcam. That's my iChess cam that I never used. Little did you know. Bang, development. Never did get around to that. But the biggest danger when you play the f3 Nimzo, I mean, you've got to understand your king is in the center of the board. Black's getting out fast. So this was a big mistake by White. Here, when I play this line to take on e6, they're supposed to play e4. And it's very sharp. You like the hazmat suit, though. It's stylish. Wait, H White. All right. Man, I got a headache. I'm just taking the challenges in the order I got them. I've got 23 minutes left. Let's finish these challenges off. Nobody else challenged me because we're at our maximum. Aditya is challenging rated. I'm going to decline the rated, as I said. Man, the challenges seem to be changing order. Sean is not here. So what about the hazmat suit? Do you have any like options? Does that come in different colors? Can you go with like yellow one day and orange the next and like pink the day after that? Can you choose your hazmat color depending on your mood? Or they make you use like one standard style of hazmat suit. There ought to be a little bit of fun involved, you know. Alright, this guy has done it again. This is not the first time he challenged me and bailed. Wait, H. White. This looks like a strong player. Alright. We've got a strong opponent, rated 2371. You have yellow, orange, and white. Depends on the work involved. Okay. Just no pink. Any other colors? What else did I say? Yellow, orange, white, pink. I guess there could be blue. Could always have blue. That's not very colorful. Noticeable. Fluorescent green, like English fire trucks or something. What else would be noticeable? So what do you wear for poison gas attacks? Toxic waste. Is it like color coded? What do you wear? Let's just start with toxic waste. Yellows for nuclear and sanitary. Now we've got classical Tartakover Queen's Gambit. Big Bird style. Hazmat. Ways for biological contamination. There you go. Lab leak. Uh-oh. It's Schieberspieler. We had this game with Uber Driver. He said I played like Karpov last time. But I have a lot of practice against these hardcore Lasker defense guys. They've drilled it into my head. It's a draw, man. It's all a forced draw. That's suspicious. He played C6. That's the move that Uber Driver played the other day. Maybe it's Uber Driver's alt account. Oh, Walter H. White. It's from Breaking Bad. Is that Breaking Bad character? But C6, who plays C6? Uber Driver and the 1800 I played in like 1994. You're supposed to play Rook D8. I mean, everybody knows that. C6 is passive, but playable. But the cognoscenti don't play C6. That's for 1800s and Uber Driver. There were games, though. There were games. I looked at the Uber Driver game where he accused me of playing like Karpov. He said I played like a drunk sailor in my other games and played like Karpov against him. He was sort of pissed. But, again, like, if you know certain positions, I've played this a million times. Not so much with C6, but I have it after the Uber Driver game I played the other day. I mean, I literally played a perfect game in this line just the other day. So we have time for another game or two. after this, but no more challenges, please. Donations are welcome. What we didn't say? Orange. Orange is for like forest fires or something. Sludge. Oil spills. Oh man, he just left. I think he left to consult Uber driver about the next move. Double dippity dip or whatever. He has the exact same ratings. Double dip chip and Pranav Sharma. Pranav Sharma's first. This is weird. I think the guy just got disconnected. Yeah, he's not thinking for 2 minutes. A 2371 Blitz player thinking for 2 minutes. He's like, this code. Uber driver played bishop e6. This is going back to some Ullman games or something. This is new. A new way to play. The Krivonosov defense. Very anti-positional. Anti or anti? Not sure where to put my bishop. This is my first time, so take it easy on me. I'm not sure this is a good square either. Objectively, Black has the weird style going on. I mean, obviously you want to get your king out of the center in a situation like this, right? But what happens if I castle and he plays c5? Then bishop e4, c takes d. Move my queen. He plays knight to c6. He literally has a saving move there. Where did he go for like a minute? I'm not going to make unfounded accusations against my opponent, but if that was like, there was this guy who did this in a tournament game online against me. He left for like a minute during the middle of the game. I mean, that's super weird. He went to the bathroom during a Blitz game. Hey, it's possible. I actually like flossed my teeth during a game once. They didn't believe me though. Yeah, there's lots of stuff you can do. I don't think I've ever run to the bathroom during a Blitz game. You can usually hold it like 2 minutes. If it's really emergency, I guess you just resign. Bishop takes b5. I have a move there. What is my move? I need to take this. So I have this, which I missed the first time around. Hopefully my opponent missed it. We're on a8. We've got the chance to recapture this pawn. But I'm only equalizing. That's the downside. I mean, maybe white has some kind of microscopic advantage. Oh, you can take the computer to the bathroom, of course. I like use my laptop like a desktop, and I have to go downstairs, and I'm always afraid like I'll drop it or something if I go up and down the steps with a laptop. So obviously if you're on your phone, it's no problem. But I never play on my phone. It's too easy to make slips. And but theoretically true. Black equalized. Yeah. Uber driver's new account. Yeah, I don't know what to do. It's nothing. It's another Armado. Fully equalized. I'm up a pawn. What? I said it was. Oh my god! I thought it was equal pawns. What? I thought I was up a pawn. Then I was like, no, I'm not up a pawn. Of course I won a pawn. And I said I'm equalizing. All right, it's a new. I have a new lease on life. I think I still have some advantage. That's funny. I forgot I was up a pawn. But it's not easy, and you don't want to like lose because you're trying too hard to win in a position like this. Objectively, our pieces are on kind of weird squares, and we're only up one pawn in a 4-on-3 majority situation. It's not like it's any easy win for white. It's going to be a long game at best. Yeah, I mean, I could easily lose here. Very easily. The bishop c4 thing is annoying for starters. My a pawn is weak. a6 is annoying, but he doesn't necessarily have a6. So it was my idea to play f3. Weakening my king side in the hopes of playing e4 later on, keeping him off of the e4 square. Guys, we have time for like one more game. Then I gotta go. Better to smash the lapis. So I don't understand what's happening here. Oh, it's like a tactical trick, of course. He has this. Oh, man. Whoa. Bishop. So he's a tactical guy. Bishop takes e6. Rook takes, queen takes check. But how does it work exactly? I don't get it. He must have a trick. His rook's hanging at the end of the day. Yeah, didn't work. It worked because it didn't work. Mm-hmm. My queen is trapped. He's not into resigning. All right. Double dip chip. Last game. Pranav, you disappeared. Sorry about your unstable connection, but I've got to go. I would have taken Pranav's challenge, but he's gone from the challenge list. I cannot control things beyond my control. Last game, and now he's back. Sorry. Your connection is unstable. You're welcome for the game. No, not the same variation again. Is this your other account? Are you kidding me? You're challenging me with 2 different accounts? The ratings are almost identical. Oh, come on. You're gonna play the last 2 games against me? No. Double dip chip, alright. You're not the same person. That's weird. I mean, what is the chances I get like the exact same line of the Lasker? Could be the same person. Double dip chip is a subscriber. Okay. It's not that common, you know, play the Lasker Queen's Gambit. Alright, you're a different person. Sorry. But it is a weird coincidence that I would get the same line again. Yeah, this is theory. Right. They also play b6, is it? Well, knight c6 is the normal move. I'm not sure why bishop e2 or queen c3 is better, but now we might know why. Maybe something to do with that. You're playing like Kramnik versus computer. Kramnik was tasked with playing an engine in some match back in like 2001 against Fritz or whatever. And of course he chose the black side of the Lasker Queen's Gambit to try to defend against it, which is a pretty reasonable try. One of the most solid openings for black. But I lost a game years ago. For some reason, it seems to me that like bishop g4 is the main move. Does that work? Do I go to b2 or c3 here? It doesn't look like much. What is this? A draw? Forced draw? Takes, rook takes. I guess I made some sort of inaccuracy. I've never been to Sweden, sadly. I've been to Denmark and Norway. It's not too late. Pranav Sharma, I can't play you. Gotta go. Sorry you couldn't get your challenge today. Guys, we're going to be back on Sunday. We will be back. This variation is basically... It's basically a draw. I mean, white could even theoretically be worse here. I guess I should take with a knight on d4, actually. Queen takes d4 is a blunder. Vladimir Kramnik played another wonderfully profound game, piling the pressure on deep Fritz. The black side of a Queen's Gambit accepted. Well, that's different. Queen's Gambit, your backup boyfriend? That's... We're not going to talk about that. All right. Yeah, bishop e6 is a problem. Now I'm on the defensive. Speaking of Kramnik, I'm back on the defensive. Yeah, this is a huge blunder. Huge blunder by me. Infidelity. That's contentious. Man, this is such a stupid move. But I was already depressed with my position. Got nothing. Spieler, Schieber. And the Lasker Queen's Gambit. So what's happening? How in the world would White ever win this position? You're just kidding, okay. I won't tell if you don't tell. Knight d4. There's no tactics to the back rank. My bishop has bishop f1. But how the heck would White win this position? It would take like a miracle, like knight f5 mating attack or something. Bishop takes, knight takes, queen c3. Oh, that's from them b5, and I'm in big trouble. How about g4? You know, I feel like I want a knight on f5. I don't know why. I just really want to put my knight on f5. And making my king side pawn majority a thing. We could see White actually have something here, theoretically. I was just saying that there's no conceivable way that White could win, but maybe I was too pessimistic. There are ways White can win. With the knight on f5 and the queen active. Thanks everyone for watching. We're going to be back on Sunday. Tomorrow's the day off. He doesn't seem interested in knight f5. For some reason. I don't know. Can't imagine why. He's not interested. But my knight isn't bad on d4 either. I've got a check. Check is always good. Check is no longer with us. h4. Is that realistic? There goes the neighborhood. We're trying to stay active and to create as many cheapos as possible. Knight c4 is a strong square. Unfortunately, I'm on b5, on b7. Look at the cheapo. Hi, Eli, I gotta go. Perhaps next time. You can play on Sunday in my simul here on lichess and Twitch, 6:30 p.m. CEST. Let's see who's streaming. Maybe we can raid somebody. Nobody's streaming. Friends. Friends reunion. He found the defense. It's an 86 check. Now it's tough knight endgame. I was thinking maybe my knight would be good here on d5. Dorina, yeah, I can read Dorina. I try to be supportive of the other Hungarians who stream. My I have a check forcing him back. Hopefully. That's important. Though I'm not technically a Hungarian by blood. I have lived here for a long time. So I'm an adopted member of the community. Let's see. Where's that knight going? Oof. Now this is going to be hard to trap it, but it can be done. No? Maybe not. Gonna be tricky to trap that knight. I'm not sure if this is actually a good move. I'm sort of making random moves at this point. Random moves. What about Zugzwang? That is an option in knight end games in general. It's been known to happen. How's my Zugzwang coming? Where are you going? You're going to f2. Don't like that. So the situation is pretty tricky here. Knight f2 is a real pain. I guess I have to go to e4, drop my pawn. Wow. I can't believe it. I'm not winning this. I guess I have to go to c5. Maybe I am winning. Maybe I'm winning. So. Check. He's still being a pain. Wow. That's incredible. So I have to go this way. Damn it. Wow. Nice endgame play. He's gonna save this lost ending. It's still tricky. Now he's finally in the box. All right, lucky there. I think you knight comes back around the other way. It's a draw. Thank you guys for watching. Let's see if we can do a raid, and I'll be back. We'll be back on. We will be back on Sunday. Thanks, everybody. Bye-bye. She's all right. Yeah, that's done. All right. Thank you.